Hi guys! And welcome back to the Car Clan podcast. This is episode 3 and you're here with me and my beautiful little tomato.
Oh, don't.
Anybody watching on YouTube is going to see that you are a tomato right now.
Just this bit. If
you are listening to the podcast on any of the audio streaming services, pop over to the YouTube and have a look. What you done?
It's just sunburn.
Spending too much time outside.
Yeah. Luckily though, I wore my flowy thing. My really thin flowy thing that makes me look like I've got wings. So my shoulders and my arms are fine, but it doesn't cover the tits. Do you know what you haven't done?
I haven't not done anything. I've been looking at you intently.
Intently?
Yes.
Do I start that bit?
Yes, because otherwise I would say, she's her. And then you'd have to say, he's him. Okay. And then that would be her and him.
Alright.
And we're not her and him, we're him and her.
Are you ready for me to say it then?
Go on then. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
He's him.
She's her. So apart from being a tomato, you did alright, didn't you?
No, it's fucking boiling.
It is.
God.
We are melting here.
What degree is it? 16,000 now?
My car reckoned it was 32 outside.
32?
Obviously Terry's probably inaccurate to a certain level, but yeah, the car said 32 degrees outside today. So
yeah, that is a good one, isn't it? That.
It is a good one, but here's the jingle. So.
Oh, we're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're not allowed to start a sentence.
Sorry, Sarah. Sorry, Mum.
She doesn't listen to this. You asked her. She said she listens to your crap enough. She's not going to listen to this. So we can start things with so as much as we like.
That's true.
Does that count as me ending a sentence with like because it was a well-placed like? I said we can start sentences with so as much as we like.
That's not the same like.
I still use like at the end of a sentence. Oh, sue me.
What have we been up to this week?
Ooh. I've spent most of the week trying to get a Willow to sleep because it's been hot as balls. Although weirdly,
I don't think that's going to be helped anytime soon, you know.
I felt like I've had sleep, even though waking up like 3 times in a night with her. Because I'm so used to only waking up with her once. When she wakes me up, I'm like, well, hey, that's 4 hours. Because that's kind of normally roughly what it is before she wakes up. Yeah. And then it's only actually been an hour and a half. And then I go back to sleep and then I wake up and I'm like, well, hey, that's been 4 hours. And then it's only actually been an hour and a half. Yeah. So like last night, in my head, I got a good 16 hours sleep. I know in real life I didn't get that many.
No.
But like, every time I woke up, I was like, that's got to be 4 hours. And it wasn't. What about you? What have you been up to?
Not a lot, really. I finished week 7 of the Couch to 5k. That'll be the same for the next couple of weeks. It's only got 9 weeks of it and then I'm done. But I'll continue running, I think.
Just keep repeating the last week and until you
or
really
I'll
easy.
just keep increasing it a little bit.
Can you not do the Couch to 10k and then just start that at week 9? Would that not how that works?
Yeah, I think that starts from doing 30-minute ones, actually. Might do that. That'll be the next video series I do. 10k, fucking hell.
I did a 10k.
An hour's run with non-stop. I could do that with Riley.
Yeah, but if he does it with you, it'll be fine with him as well. The only reason it's difficult is because he's learning to do it as well.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is what I was saying to you. Now you're getting to the point where you can't take Maggie with you anymore because she doesn't come every time. But if you take Riley every time, it'll be fine. If you'd have been taking Maggie,
I don't think Maggie would. Even if Maggie was doing it with me, I don't think she'd manage to run for that long because she's only 4.
Yeah, but she's a nutter. She spends all day running.
Not straight.
No, something like wiggly. I did a 10k run once.
Yeah, but that was a one-off and it destroyed you.
Yeah, I still did it.
And it was for a good cause. This is just for me.
I got a medal and everything.
Where is he?
Balls if I know. I ain't that proud of it.
Should be.
Why?
I don't think you'll ever do it again.
If the mood takes me.
Okay. What kind of mood takes you to go do a 10k run?
Being put on the spot by work, asking if I'll join in. I did that with I did one run in the run up to that.
Did you?
Yeah, I ran to Kinver and I went to the pub and had a pint and then I ran back home.
That's about right.
When I say run, I ran to the top of the hill, on top of Swan.
Yeah.
and then I kind of hobbled a bit, and then tried to run again. I suppose I did the week 1 of the Couch to 5K all the way there.
60-second run, 90-second walk.
Yeah, pretty much. Had a pint. Did I have some chips? I might have had some chips.
How healthy.
I did some running. I learned some. And then I did the same thing back. And then I was like, I'm ready for a 10k run. And I was doing alright as well. The problem...
The pictures of you didn't look like
that was right at the end. I did myself over. Basically, I was running fine with the pacemaker, which is like a runner that sets a... They know how fast they need to run 10k in a specific time.
Oh, okay.
So they have flags on, and one will say like 45 minutes. So if you run with that person, you're aiming at a 45-minute 10k kind of thing.
Okay.
So I was running with the guy. I wanted to do it in less than an hour and a half. That was my goal. And I was running with the guy that was like an hour and 20 or something like that. And I was running with him fine. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, my calf just went rock solid. And I'd done a good 15, 20 minutes running with him.
Yeah.
And my calf just went... and I was like... So I stopped for a second just to loosen it back up, and I'd recheck my laces and whatever. And I started running, and...
What was it, a cramp?
Yeah, well, I don't know. My calf just went solid. It must have just cramped up. So I just give it a slap a bit and got it loosened up and started running again. And I was like, I don't know where the pacemaker guy is. I don't know how fast I should be running. So I was like, well, he kind of got that far in front. So I just ran a bit faster to try and catch up with him.
Yeah.
And I did catch up with him. But because I'd ran that much faster to try and catch up with him, I managed to keep up with him that second time for like 3 minutes before I died. Because I'd sprinted to try and catch up with him. And then that was it. But I still managed to do it in less than an hour and a half.
That's good.
Yeah, I was dead. As you come through this one street, the whole street had got water guns and stuff out the front. And so they were just squirting the runners because it was mental hot. And like loads of the people had got bottles of water and everything, like big crates of bottles of water out the front and handing them to people.
They should
and
have
stuff.
got their hoses attached to like one of them sprays for the kids.
There was a point. I think it was at about the 5k mark.
Yeah.
And there was literally like a mini car wash.
No way.
It was probably about the length of this room. And then the width of, you could probably fit 2 people side by side through it.
Yeah.
And it was just like a mister.
Oh.
So you ran through and it was just like a little mist that you could run through.
I'm imagining that now. Oh, I could do with that.
It was lovely, but then it made the last 5k even harder because you just had that nice cool, and then it just made the hot seem twice as hot. Like people weren't running through it, and I was like, "Are they mental? You need this. We're dying here." And then afterwards, I was like, "No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get why they didn't."
Another thing that happened last week was that the kids finished school unexpectedly.
They weren't meant to, were they?
They were supposed to finish Tuesday this week, and they didn't. They sent this. The school sent out a text Friday afternoon, whilst Joe was at work, saying, "We've decided to end the school term today, so school holidays will start from next week." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." So it's a good.
I don't know how they've been allowed to do that.
A few schools have done it though, haven't they?
Yeah, no, but I don't know how they've been allowed to. No, we're okay. But there are parents out there that work.
Yeah.
So I just go, oh yeah, by the way, your kids aren't coming back in again.
I never thought of that bit to it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that people are going to have been like, okay, they're breaking up on Tuesday, so I'll book off a week there, and then I'll arrange for so and so to have them, and then just like, oh, there you go. By the way, they're not coming in those days either, and you've only got 2-3 days to sort that out.
I didn't even think of that. I was more thinking of like the year 6 kids that might not see any of their friends again. They weren't even told.
Mm-hmm.
They were told like after, because they were doing their plays, end of year plays on that day. They got told after the play, so they had like literally an hour before they was finishing school to say their goodbyes and everything. And when I was in primary school, we took in like a shirt and wrote on it and everything and all that jazz. And it was a big thing, and I just think it was really unfair for them not to be able to do anything like that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised they're allowed to have done it anyway.
Yeah, I'd have kicked off if Riley was in year 6, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked him if he was okay about it, because he's got a girlfriend in year 2. And I said, are you upset? And he says, I am going to miss my friends, but I'm really happy that school's over now. I was like, you do have to go back in a few weeks. But I'm as long as he ain't like upset about it, it don't really affect me. But if he was in year 6, I'd have royally kicked off.
Yeah, it's a bit crap. You're robbing kids of that memory, ain't you, really?
Yeah, and like with Maggie, she finished nursery an hour or 2 before they sent out the text, so she didn't get to say goodbye to any of her friends at all.
Yeah, didn't even say bye to them because she didn't even know.
No, and because it's just nursery, a lot of the kids that go there probably aren't going to be in the same school that she goes to for reception. It's bullshit, man. Bullshit. Oh well, we had a power cut yesterday, and it nearly caused a massive catastrophe for me because I panic about stuff like that. After 5 minutes, I was like, we need to put the stuff out the fridge and the freezer.
That's what we want, frozen everything.
Well, I didn't know how long it was going to be off for, did I?
Yeah, but not 5 minutes.
This woman... Actually, you blamed me, didn't you? Because you thought I'd turn the light off in the living room.
Well, yeah, because I was trying to clean out the snails at the time. Again, anybody want some snails, hit us up. We've got hundreds of them.
Giant land snails and all yours.
I was trying to clean out the snails at the time. And I put the living room light on like 4 times, left the room to grab something and come back in, and you'd been in and turned it off.
I only turned it off once.
You did not?
I did, I only turned it off once.
That you remember?
I only turned it off once.
Okay.
Because I was sat on the stool in the kitchen feeding Willow.
No, it was before then. It was while I was getting everything in there.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
I
turned it off once and then went in to feed Willow.
Willow was still asleep at this point.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was. Willow was still asleep in the thing while I started. And then she woke up and I couldn't do anything because my hands were covered in crap, and that's why you got Willow and took her in the other room. But before then... See, look, you don't even remember how things went on, so are you going to remember turning the lights off? Right, I put the lights on, went out into the garden to get the bucket to put the dirt in because we're thinning it out. Come back in, and the light had been turned off. So I turned the light back on. And I was like, I need a different bucket that I can put all the snails in. So I went into the garden to get another bucket, come back in, and it was off. Before any of that, I just put it on so I could see what the hell I was doing, and went in the kitchen and come back in and it was off. Right, so I was in there and the light went off, and I was like, you're really turning that bloody light off again? I've got it on for a reason. And you were like, I haven't touched it. I was like, just like you didn't touch it the last 3 times.
And I hadn't, had I?
No, you hadn't.
I said it was a ghost.
But instead it was a knobhead in a Corsa. I don't know if it was a Corsa, but it was probably a Corsa.
Somebody somebody drove into the electric box at the top of the street. And then afterwards, once that got fixed, because the electric was only off for an hour, and then the internet played up for ages.
But they said it was going to be longer than that, didn't they?
Yes.
Because they said it would be looking by 5 o'clock.
Yeah, this woman, because our front door was open because it was hot. She went, yoo-hoo, big summer blowout. No, she didn't. She said that she's the one that told us that the car had crashed into the electric box. She found them. And you know, like a totally British thing to do when your electric goes off, you stand outside and you look up and down the street, see if anybody else has gone off. And this bloke, a couple of doors down, I said, has your electric gone off as well? And he was like, yeah. I just had the fan on me. I was like, oh, shame. But yeah, then the Virgin was off for hours as well, and the kids couldn't cope.
Yeah. I wonder if it actually gone into... Oh, it couldn't have been because it was working. No, well, you don't know if it was working, do we? Because the power was off.
It did. When the power came back on, it worked for a little bit.
Yeah, and then that went out. So I reckon that was something to do with it, though.
It's got to have been. It's not too much of a coincidence, wasn't it? The only other thing that's happened this week, that hasn't really happened this week, it's just kind of increased this week, is Willow's ability to scream talk. When we went on holiday with John and Tasha, because Lorcan's like very, very vocal, he's very like, I can't do it because it'll wake her up, but it's very, ah! She's been doing that all week.
constantly.
It's like
Sometimes
a new thing.
it's hard to tell if she's crying or not.
I know.
And you have to go and check her, and like her face is like, yeah, boy. But she's like, yeah, sometimes it's really hard to tell if she's crying or not, and you have to check on her, and she's just smiling to herself while having a scream.
I think because she's found a voice and she just wants to test it out. Doesn't she? But yeah, that's what we've been up to this week.
The Hello.
Are you shy?
So what's your name?
Who are you?
They know my name.
They might not. This is a podcast, remember?
True.
So what's your name?
Riley.
And who are you?
I don't know what.
Who are we to you?
Do you not know who we are? Have we kidnapped you?
What do you call us?
Parents.
Parents.
Parents. You don't say, oi, parents, get me dinner. Do you?
Mummy and Daddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are our son.
And you're the big brother car.
Yes. The oldest one.
Yeah.
So we've invited you here today to talk about all the...
Our Lord Saviour Jesus Christ.
Shut up. About the funny things that you and Maggie have been saying this week. Okay.
Okay.
I've only got one for you. Last week it was Monopoly. Say Monopoly.
Monopoly.
This week I said flipping Nora.
And what did you say?
Do you remember what you said?
No.
You said flipping Nora. Don't you like her?
What do you think flipping Nora means? If Mummy goes, oh, flipping Nora, what do you think it means?
I don't know.
You don't know at all?
No.
What do you think? If you were to guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know. Flipping Nora basically is like, you know when people go flipping it?
Yeah.
Or, oh my god.
Yeah. Basically that.
Yeah. More or less, yeah. But it was that hot, I said flipping Nora. And it just made me laugh how you were like, don't you like her? Nora's not a person I know.
She's on the ring thing. On the ring.
Laura, not Nora.
Who's
You
Laura?
plonker. Laura's the person who I listen to in the Couch 5K.
Oh, is that what the name
Yeah.
of the person that talks to you is?
Yeah. Flipping Laura. You're funny.
I was expecting you to think it was like Nora the Explorer.
No.
Dora the Explorer.
With Maggie. Maggie's done a couple of weird and wonderful things this week. But the couple that stood out to me was she had I think it was one of the 5 bars or something out of the drawer, and she bit it. She went, "Ooh, it tastes nice."
Ew.
Ew, tastes nice. And I was like, Maggie. The other thing that Maggie said was a couple of days ago when her and Willow were in the bath to save on water. I asked her, "Do you love your sister?" Because she was lying in her little bath thing, and she said no. And I was like, "Why?" And she said, "I don't like her eyes." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because I just don't like him." I said, is there anything else? And she said, "I don't like her nose, or her mouth, or her toes, or her body." And I was like, "Why don't you like her toes? Her toes are the cutest thing ever." I said, "Is there anything you do like?" And she said she likes her hair, her head, her little toe, her ears, and her face. But originally she said she didn't like her face. And then she reeled off the specific things of her face that she didn't like. And then I said, "Okay, is there a favourite part of her that you like?" And she said her favourite bit is her legs because she's excited for her to walk. That's kind of cute, I suppose. But she doesn't like a lot of her sister at all.
No.
That's really kind of mean.
It is. I'm glad that she likes her hair because
She'd be in trouble if she didn't. She's
it's a
ginger as
common
well.
thing in it. Yeah.
I hate her hair. Colour's horrible.
It's a common
Maggie, you're
denominator.
ginger as well, darling. What's the point?
Yeah, she likes her little toe.
Just a little one.
Yeah.
Do you have a story that you'd like to tell us?
So, whilst I was at Nanny's,
Yes.
before you came,
Yeah.
I learned how to do a backflip. I did.
A backflip.
Yeah,
Where?
on a trampoline.
Oh, okay. He never told us that.
Yes, he did. And he tried to show us multiple times.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh. Bad mom.
Oh, that's really like not good to say.
I know.
At least he didn't do his usual and go, true.
Yeah.
So is that your story for us? And then do backflips?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like and subscribe and tell us down in the comments below if you know how to do a backflip as well.
Is that what we're going with there?
Okay.
Bye.
Diddly 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 dip. The Car Clan.
It's that time of the week.
It's not that time of the month.
I don't think so. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, well, it would explain a lot. Say it with your chest.
I'm going to let you go first this time because I thought of a really good one earlier and I forgot it.
So you're hoping you'll remember?
Yeah.
Okay. So my issue with you, it's a long-standing issue. It's been going on for forever and a day, to be honest with you. You will not answer the question that is asked. It doesn't matter what... It could be the simplest of questions, and you will answer 12 other questions that weren't asked, and then be angry that I asked the question again. It could be, what do you want for dinner? And your response will be, well, I'm going running in a bit. Thanks.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
And I'll go, okay. What's that got to do with wanting dinner? You'll be like, well, I don't need any for a bit. Yes, but when you come back, what do you want for dinner? Oh, I don't know. You know, you'll do it with things that half make sense not answering the question. Like, how long are you going to be? And then you'll reel off a list of things that you've got to do. So it's like say, for example, I don't know.
Yeah, but do you know why I do that? Because if I reel off the list, in my head I can try and work out an amount of time that it's going to take.
Yeah, but you reel off your list and then you forget to answer the question still. And I'll go, so how long are you going to be? You'll be like, I don't know. Like, you just give me a whole list. There's other things you do. You do it with other stuff. But you do it with all the time. Constantly. I will ask you a question. It could be a yes-no question. It could be a yes, do you want to drink? And then you'll like tell me about the fact that you've got some wraps in the fridge to eat later or something. And it's like not even close to the question.
You are really exaggerating this.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not. I have asked you. I asked you if you wanted to. Not too recently, but fairly recently. I asked you if you wanted a drink, and you told me that you'd got a jacket potato for dinner. And I was like, "What's that got to do with wanting a drink?" And you went, "I'll have one when I have my jacket potato."
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of things that I have to constantly navigate around. Or I will ask you a question and you will answer a completely different question, but it answers the question, if that makes any sense, because you'll take the question I asked out of context. We were having a whole conversation about something.
When? Yesterday?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. We're having a whole conversation about something, and it was like, we'll just go with, for example, having food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about dinner and going through like, okay, we could have this, or we could have this. And then I said to you, so what are you going to do? And then you reeled off your plans for the night and didn't answer what we were having for dinner. And I was like, what are you doing? And you asked me what I'm going to do. I'm like, yeah, within the context of the conversation we're having, I didn't just stop the conversation we're having and be like, so what's your plans for this evening? It was like, we could have pasta, or we could have chicken, or we could have a dinner. And I'm like, what are you going to do? And you're like, well, I'm going to put Willow to bed, and then I've got to do some editing. And then I was like, what? And then when I pointed out that you had not answered the question, you got angry with me, like it was my fault that you answered the wrong question.
How come all these things that you say with this segment of the podcast
Are about you, because that's the point of the
No, are about me being angry?
Because you get angry all the time.
Oh, it's true, actually.
Tell me the last day you didn't get angry.
Oh my god. A long time ago. I am a very angry person, though, I've got to admit. I can't help it.
Because just like the question, it's the problem. You don't take in the context of a situation. You just take in the bit of the situation and be like, right, I've got a problem. Like, no, there's a whole context here. Like asking that question. You got in the mood with me because I was like, what are you even doing right now? You were like, I'm answering the question. And so, it's like, yeah, but we're having a whole conversation. This isn't just, we were sitting in 2 different rooms and I came in and went, so what you doing? We were talking about a specific thing and I asked what you were doing in regards to that specific thing, and then you just opened it up to the world of things. So yeah, that's mine. Have you remembered yours yet?
No, but I have thought of another one.
Oh, here we go. Go on then.
Every single time you go in the bathroom to do anything, apart from have a shit, like when you have a shave or a shower or anything like that, you never put your stuff away. Ever.
That's not true again.
That is true.
It's not.
Every single time you have a shave, I have to put your shaving gel away and your razor away because you leave it on the side.
If I put them back in, straight back into the cupboard, we need a hangy thing for me to put them in. Well, we did talk about this previously and we just never got one.
No.
But I need a hangy thing to put them in, because if I put them straight in my cupboard, the last time I put them straight in my cupboard after having a shave, my lubricating layer on my razor stuck to the bottom of the cupboard and then I lost it, and that was a waste of a razor.
Well, don't put it downwards then.
There's other stuff in my cupboard, it sticks to things, that's the problem.
Well,
which
I've
is why I
got
leave
one like
it outside.
that and don't stick to anything in mine because of how I place it in there.
I know, and do you know why that is? Because I will lay out mine nicely and then you will just find some random crap and throw it into my section.
It's your crap, that's why.
It's not my crap.
It is your crap.
It's not my crap.
It is
Or
your
things that... Look, no, it's not. The
Yes, it is.
The amount of times I've took shit out of there that I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I've never seen this. What is Femme Fresh? Like, why is this in my bit? I have no idea what the hell that is. Like, it's just... Vagisil? I don't need that. What's that?
You've never found any of that shit in your cupboard.
I have. I'll go and get it right now.
No, you haven't. But it's not just your razors and stuff. It's like your towel. 9 times out of 10, you leave it in here.
Yeah, so I didn't leave it in the bathroom, so that was a lie.
But when you do leave it in the bathroom, you don't hang it up. You leave it on the floor.
No.
And the bath mats, you never put them over the side of the bath to dry.
Because the bath's wet. If I put them on the bath, they'll just get more wet on them.
No, they won't. If you put them upright over the edge, it dries them. Because otherwise people tread on them and they get wet feet. And whenever you have a shower or anything, you leave them next to the taps or up the other end. Most of the time it's down the end of the taps. When you have a bath or something or a shower.
You leave what?
Like your shower gel thing or something like
Very,
that.
very rarely.
It's not very rarely.
It is very rarely.
99% of the time I put it away.
That's not true.
It is true.
I can tell you for a fact that's not true.
From now on, every time you do it, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to send it to you. And I'm going to save all these pictures and we'll see how many there are by the end of the month.
Okay, and I'm going to do the same for you then. If you leave your shit out, I'm going to take a picture
I put mine away.
You say that. You say that. But here's the thing. When I go, left your shit out, you'll be like, you do it all the time, so fuck you. And then somehow I'm the one in the wrong because you left your shit out. I lose in every situation. It's a lose-lose situation.
But the thing is, I put my stuff away. But I have to put your stuff away as well.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You don't have to put my stuff away.
I do because you don't do it. Like, with the razor especially. You can't leave a razor out with kids here.
No, I agree. Which is why we need a doobry.
But you still don't need to leave it there.
A doobry.
If anything. Like, put it on top of the fucking cupboard or something.
Okay. Then
So
you'll
you're
moan at
gonna
me.
do that now,
Then you'll moan at me because you'll reach up there and you'll cut your finger. Like,
no, I don't reach up there for anything.
Lies.
I'll get the curtain from behind it. I don't touch on top of it at all.
Okay.
So you're going to do it now then?
Yeah, I'll put it on top of there.
Pinky promise me.
Until we get a doobry doo for it to go into.
Okay.
But in regards to leaving my stuff down the bottom end by the taps, it's 99.9% not accurate, on the basis that most of the time I stand up to have a wash, even if I have a bath. I soak in it and then I stand up to actually wash.
But why do they get left on the thing then?
They don't.
They do.
They rarely do. This is another thing that you're really, really good at doing. You could have something happen 7,800 times, and if out of that 7,800 times, 3 times something happened, every bloody time it fucking happens. Like, that's you're so good at doing that. It's unbelievable.
You're not allowed to do this.
Or three times I wouldn't do something.
This is technically another one.
No, this is defending myself from yours.
No, you wouldn't let me defend myself last
go
week.
for it. You can defend yourself. That's the point.
I don't remember what it was last week. I can't defend myself now.
So you answer the question that is asked.
Yes, I do.
So you
in my own way.
In your own way. So not the question that is asked. There we go.
You've been with me long enough now to know what kind of answer I give means.
No, I haven't.
9 years ain't long enough.
Not to... Okay. We are having a conversation about what we're having for dinner. So what you're going to do? Well, I'm going to put Willow to bed. I'm going to have a shower. And I'm going to do some editing. Oh, yeah. I know that means chicken dinner. Like, that doesn't...
That's never happened.
That was literally... That happened the other day.
Well, maybe I misheard you then.
No, you just decided...
What are you doing after dinner?
No.
That's probably what I thought you said. Because I've got really bad hearing.
No, because when I called you out on it, you went, I answered the question. You said, what are we doing? And I went, yes, within the context of the full conversation we're having. And you went, well, how am I supposed to know that? And I went, because of the conversation we are having. What's mine then? I forgot. What did you say mine was?
Leaving shit in the bathroom.
Leaving shit in the bathroom, okay.
Which you're not going to do anymore, are you?
I mean, sometimes it's going to happen.
But you're going to not do it anymore, are you?
But sometimes it's going to happen.
It can't happen.
Well, sometimes it will.
Why would it happen?
Because...
It's like putting the dressing gown on, hang it up, your towel, hang it up. Don't leave it on the floor.
Yeah.
Don't leave it in here. Just hang it up. You drop things right next to a fucking hanger and it does my nut in.
Do you want to drop things next to a hanger?
Like your dressing gown?
Yeah.
The towel?
The only time the dressing gown ends up on the floor is when I've worn it to go into Willow. She's being a pissing nightmare. So I've brought her in here and I've got a baby and I just like, and just go and lie down. There you go.
Diddle 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 did the car clan. Do you have anything?
So we were having a conversation the other day about what we were going to have for dinner.
No, you can't use that.
I don't really. I don't so much this week. We haven't really spoke to each other.
No, we just argued a lot.
We ain't even done that.
Yeah, we
We've
have.
just kind of... You've been editing a lot. And then I've just been watching crap with the kids on the telly. And then we've been going to bed. We haven't really done a lot of hanging out together this week.
Apart from getting completely fucking trolleyed Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing we've done, and it's not your fault when you're drunk. These things aren't drunk, Kelda. You're an idiot. Because anybody drunk is an idiot. These are day to day. Why is this soap foamy? Kind of. Apart from the thing that I've already brought up as my issue, you don't really have any this week.
Good.
Diddly, 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 diddly. The clan.
Have you had anything?
No.
No. You guys need to ask us some crap or get involved in some way, shape or form.
I have a story. Yes, but it's just going to help you prove that I'm an idiot.
Okay, I'm down. Let's go.
I was a lot younger. I was,
Got to have been at least 28.
So, I was probably about 14, 15, something like that. And I went to go make me a sandwich. Right?
Yeah.
My mother was going... She did like a normal shops and everything, but the one time she did a shop somewhere else. And so everything was different. And I didn't know. So I automatically just went in the fridge to grab something to make a sandwich with, right?
Okay.
And as I was making this sandwich afterwards, I was like, this tastes really funny. I think I asked somebody to have a bite of it to see, like, if they could determine what was wrong with it, because the bread was fine. There was nothing wrong with the mould or anything. Well, there was no mould.
There was nothing wrong with the mould.
The
mould was completely normal.
There was no mould in the bread or anything. And I presume it was a ham sandwich because that's all I used to fucking eat.
Did you use face cream instead of mayo?
I used lard instead of butter. I just never checked the little packet thing.
That's not that bad.
That's bad.
It's not that
Eating
bad.
lard.
There are people out there that will literally melt lard and drink it.
That's
I guarantee
disgusting. It tastes horrible. Who puts lard into a little tub, like a butter tub with like one of them plastic, like a lid? Who does that? Who keeps lard in the fridge? Who has packets of lard? That's
where
weird.
do you keep lard?
I don't have lard. We don't buy lard. Who buys lard and what for?
People use lard. Lard, don't they use it instead of like oil? You put it in and it melts down.
No, that's butter.
That's also lard.
That's really, really bad for you.
I don't know what more you want. So is bungee jumping. People still do that.
Nah, that's different.
Yeah, bungee jumping. If something goes wrong there, you're gone. If something goes wrong with a bit of lard, you get a bit fat.
A bit. Did you say you had a story?
I do have a story. How bad do you want of a story?
Bad.
You want a bad story?
Yeah.
So, how bad do you want? Because, yeah.
You're the one that keeps asking for like the worse, the better. So.
Yeah, but I don't want to just go in too deep because it might hurt, and then we've got to try and backtrack from that point. Whereas if we could build up to that point.
Well, we're in it now. Let's just go for it.
It's not something that exactly involves me, but I was there, and it was a really weird experience. And anybody else who was having that experience would probably not have stayed there.
Okay.
So, I went through a phase where I would probably class myself as an alcoholic. And I wouldn't say friends, but acquaintances that I knew.
Mm.
We went to one of their flats to go and drink. Day drinking. We're talking like, 11 o'clock. These are the type of people that just smoke weed and drink all day, and that was all they do.
Yeah.
I didn't smoke weed. I just drank. And I don't think anybody was that day. I think everybody was just drinking. So we're drinking in this, what is essentially bordering on a crack den.
Yeah, okay.
You've had a friend like that. You know, you go to their house and you're just like, oh, this is just, can we go? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was one of those type places, but it was somewhere that was dry and inside, and there was alcohol, so we just stayed there and we was just drinking. And I don't know how we got to this point, but there's like probably 8 of us there.
Hmm.
And there's like one of those 2-seater sofas that can kind of fit 4 on, really, because they've got like the huge cushion seat bits. So there's like 5 of us sat on these things. We're all like squidged on it, like really uncomfortably drinking away. And then in comes this guy, and he just got naked. And he got his missus naked. And she started to give him a blowjob. And we were just sat there just drinking and like, hang on, wait. You know when something starts happening and you don't register that it's happening until you suddenly go, wait, what? So it was one of those moments. And then we were just sat there like, this is real fucking awkward. And we just stayed there. And we just carried on drinking and we're like, what the fuck is going on? She threw up a bit on his dick while she was giving him a blowjob. This is where it then turned into some 18 rated version of fucking Coronation Street or something. Because she threw up on his dick.
Yeah.
He didn't know she'd done that because he was wankered. She didn't know that because she was wankered. She then obviously tasted something rank going on, then proceeded to shout at him for coming in her mouth. Which he then was like, I haven't. A massive naked argument ensued in front of us, which proceeded with her leaving the apartment. She just picked up her clothes and left. She didn't put them on. She just picked them up and left. And he then just, still naked, sat down in the chair and opened a can. And they split up.
Suppose you remember it if he was an alcoholic at the time.
I remember so much from that point. I don't really get blackout drunk. I don't overly not remember things. I'll be honest. I got another not a follow-up story. It's relevant to that, but it's relevant to the conversation we're now having.
Okay.
I actually, kind of relevant to last week's story, I suppose, I actually have forgotten more things from eating too much than I have from having too much alcohol. At the same time period.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah. You've never been in a food coma?
No.
Oh, God. So, same time period, actually. And it was when, weirdly, that story wasn't the thing that made me go, I need to stop drinking. It was sitting at home in my pants drinking whiskey from a fruit shoot bottle. Because I'd put it in a fruit shoot bottle so that it didn't look like I was drinking whiskey. Because I didn't want to admit that I was drinking whiskey.
Self-denial.
Yeah. And I was sitting there watching Dogma.
Yeah.
I had an old video player TV, and it was set up so that when it got to the end of a film, it would just rewind and then autoplay. And I would literally sit there and just watch Dogma to the end, including the adverts at the start and the credits. And then it would go... and then just start again, and I would just stay and sit watching it. I probably watched Dogma, like, at that point in time, I would say 15 times a week, at least.
Oh, my God.
I wasn't working, I'd lost my job. So I was just like, I'll just sit in my bedroom and drink. It's pretty much the done thing. But then I got a job. Way. No, so I had that moment, and
You got a job being an alcoholic?
no, that's what I'm saying. I had that moment. I was like, "What the pissing hell am I doing?" I literally, you know, in I Am Legend, when he's watching Shrek, Will Smith's watching the kid's watching Shrek, and Will Smith's standing behind the kid, and he's miming along to the movie.
No.
Have you not seen I Am Legend?
I thought I did, but I don't remember that.
With the zombie
at all.
things, and he's got his dog. It's just Will Smith and his dog, and then the lady and the kid turn up, and they're watching Shrek on DVD. And basically, Will Smith's been living in that world on his home with just him and the dog. So all he's got is like the 5 movies that he watches over and over again, so he knows every word to them. I was basically like that, but just with Dogma, because I couldn't be bothered to fucking change it most of the time. So I would sit and just watch it, and I knew it word for word all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically laughing at the jokes before they were saying them while drinking whiskey from a fruit shoot bottle, and I was like, what the fucking hell am I doing in my life? And I stopped drinking for a long time, and literally just cut it out like that. And I got a job, and with my first pay, because of being on the dole and spending most of my money on booze, I'd been eating literally 9p noodles from Sainsbury's for 4 or 5 months. That was pretty much it. And
You were living on alcohol and noodles?
yeah. And sometimes,
That's so sad.
Sometimes, if I wanted to treat myself, I would buy go in Farm Foods, and they did sausage loaf. It was in the squares, and I'd buy that as well. If I wanted to treat myself, I'd throw an extra £1 into my food bowl and get some of that. So with my first pay from having a job, I went to KFC and bought the party bucket that we buy now.
Yeah.
And I sat in the park, and I ate the whole thing to myself, and completely passed out in front of the War Memorial from eating so much chicken. It was like my first day off, and I just went into KFC as soon as it opened, bought this massive party bucket, and just sat there just like wolfing it down, going from eating pretty much... I mean, I ate other stuff, but that was what I bought as my food.
Yeah.
But like if you'd go out with people would buy pizzas and stuff, and you'd have a bit of pizza and all that. It wasn't so... But I knew that, and that's why I solely bought noodles, because I was like, well, if I'm at home and I'm hungry, I'll eat this. But if we go out, people always get some random crap, and
You'll binge off them?
yeah, you just, well, yeah, and you can have a can, I'll have a piece of pizza. It was like away you go. As if I've definitely told you about being an alcoholic before. I'm sure I've told you the Dogma story before.
No, I don't think you have.
I've definitely not told you the lady throwing up on her fella's
you've
dick
not told me
story.
that.
That one makes me laugh. It's one of those where you just... I don't know why I stayed. You know, or I didn't say... Nobody said anything. That's what made it so weird.
Yeah, but if you're all drunk, no one's going to say anything.
Yeah, nobody even went, "Way!" Like, nothing. Literally, everybody just went... Like, for anybody listening, I did that. Is it a
Shrugged.
Is it a monkey or a bear on that GIF Where he just like keeps side-eyeing towards the camera.
I don't know.
I think it's a monkey, but I don't know. But he keeps like side-eyeing towards the camera, and he's like, "What? Okay." It was like that. That was all we did. We just kind of side-eyed at each other, and then just kind of half shrugged. And it wasn't like a proper shrug. It was like a.
How long was that guy sitting on the chair naked?
I don't know.
Did he stink or sick?
I don't know. I didn't sniff his dick. I was like,
But usually that aroma lingers.
the whole place stunk.
Mm.
It was one of those.
Nasty place.
Yeah, not quite as bad as the one in Train Spotting where they go and shoot up, but give it a few months and it would have been there. Like it was, yeah. In regards to my stories,
No, I've never encountered anything like that whatsoever.
have you ever thrown up on a dick and blamed him for?
No.
No, that wasn't really
I've
the
never
question.
thrown up on a dick.
You nearly have. No, that wasn't what my question was. My question was, what situation have you been in that you've not realised you're in until you're too in it?
The only thing that's coming to mind is when I got proposed to and molested at the same time.
That was the question, actually, that I did remember. That I knew that would be an answer to, but it wasn't the question I just asked. If that makes sense.
What was the other question then?
Somebody did ask us about it, and it was, I don't know who asked us, but it was, what's your worst date?
I asked that.
Oh, it was you that asked it?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So we have a question from Kelda. You just want to tell that story, don't you?
I don't. It's just the only thing that I could come up with.
So you've come up with that answer for 2 questions. One of the questions that you made yourself.
Yeah.
You want to tell that story subconsciously.
Maybe.
Go for it.
Okay. So back in the day, when I was on I was on loads of dating websites actually. Before I met him, I think I was talking to you. Maybe. I don't remember. It was a very, very long time ago. I met up with this guy who didn't live that far away from me at the time when we were talking, but then he moved down to London. And he said that he was going to be in Birmingham for just one day, I think, for a few hours, and asked if I would meet him there. The only thing that somewhat bothered me, and that everybody else used to take the piss out of, was his voice, because obviously I'd never seen him. We never did a video call or anything like that. We just spoke on the phone, and he had a very high-pitched voice, and everybody used to take the piss and call him Mickey Mouse. But I was still interested. We got on when we was talking and texting and all that jazz. So I'd said, yeah, okay, I'll meet you. And we met up in Birmingham. I was with him for a total of 40 minutes. The first 20 minutes were fine. The last 20 minutes were a fucking nightmare. I don't know what the area of it is, but it was like, I think it was by the library.
Well, when we went to Birmingham, you said it was a bit by Selfridges, where the balcony bits are.
Round there then. Because I don't like Birmingham. I try and avoid that place as often as I can because I just fucking hate the place. And because he used to live there, he knows his way around and everything, and I was just like, okay, I'll just follow you, whatever. And we was just talking, having a really nice conversation, getting to know each other a little bit more, because it's a bit easier when you're face to face in it rather than over phone. And then we walked up to this bit that's a bit more enclosed, and he, for some reason, just got down on one knee and asked me to marry him. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was in shock. I didn't say anything at first. And he was like, he didn't have a ring or anything. He literally just got down on his knee and just asked me if I'd marry him in his fucking high-pitched, will you marry me voice. And I was like, no. So I said no. And then he got up, and then he basically completely put himself on me and started kissing me. Really bad kissing, like way open mouth, tongue straight in there kind of kissing. And then started to put his hands all over me. And then he started to try and take my clothes off.
Just in Birmingham?
Yeah. Like, he had his hand up my top and everything, and I had to push him away, and I was like, I need to go home now because my bus is coming. And he took me to the bus stop, and I was just left, and I blocked his number, and I blocked him on whatever the dating site was that he's like, oh my god, he scared the shit out of me. I've never felt so vulnerable in my life.
Some blokes are just dickheads, though.
Yeah. But like all that time talking to turn out to be a fucking weirdo. That has no.
Yeah, there's
boundaries, clearly.
There's nothing wrong with being a weirdo. You want to be a weirdo. Some of the best people in the world are weirdos. And what that is a grade A prick. That's not a weirdo.
There's technically sexual assault in it.
Yeah, of course it is. Like, it's just... Yeah, there's people out there. I don't want to just say men, because there's people out there who just don't understand how to behave in general.
Mm.
They don't have that part of their brain that tells them this isn't how you behave.
No. That's what they call a psychopath, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Do you have
that.
A follow-up question-y thing to that?
Okay. Do you have like any really, really bad experiences with someone you've met online? Not me.
Oh, not you.
Ours was a good experience.
Yeah, it was alright. When you were drunk.
Not at first.
Very quickly.
To this day.
Not like that kind of bad. I had bad dates though. Told you about the one girl, didn't I?
I don't know, there's been a fucking few of you.
Alright, jeez. God. No, so it was not that long before I met you. Again, it was the same time period.
Yeah.
I met a girl on Puff.
Yeah. Oh, this is the only other girl you met on Puff, innit?
No, I met a couple of people off Puff.
Oh, you told me you only met two, because you only joined there for your mate.
Yeah, I originally only joined Puff because one of my girl mates was on there, and I was going to make like a fake profile and just troll the fuck out of her. And then I did that for a little bit, and then just used it a little bit. Because I was like, well, I'm just sitting at home on my own. And the only girls I know are girls that are part of my group, that most of them are because they're my friends' partners, which is obviously not, you're never going to meet somebody that your mate's misses already.
No.
So I was like, I'll use it a bit. And no, there's a couple of people I met off there. But I always got, I don't want to say the nutters, because that's the wrong thing.
Terminology.
Yeah.
Weirdos.
Yeah. So, well, it wasn't even that. So the one girl I met, which is the story I was going to tell you. Very attractive girl. She looked a lot like the emo Grebo-y girl from Hollyoaks, like years back. I don't know what her name is now.
I never watched Hollyoaks.
But yeah, she looked a lot like her. But we met up, and you know the smelly person on the bus? She smelled like 3 of them. It was horrendous.
Oh,
and
God.
yeah.
So how long did that date last?
Longer than it should have. But we never... She wanted a hug when she left. And it was like...
So you didn't sleep with her?
Oh, God, no. I sat next to her for a bit and that was enough.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Which makes you wonder if that was like a tactic, like thinking back on it. Is that like a tactic she had, where she was like, if I really fucking smell, I'll know if they like me because I'm interesting.
Well, maybe.
Because she was an attractive girl. So, for how bad she smelled, thinking back on it, she shouldn't have been that attractive.
Yeah.
Like, she was relatively well kept looking and everything. But just...
Maybe she was stink bombed and she just didn't tell you.
If that was me, that is something I would own up to straight away. That'd be if I turned up to our date and I fucking stank, and it was because some chavvy twat had fucking cracked 2 stink bombs on me. That would be literally the first thing I would say. When I got off the bus and met you, I would have literally gone, stay back a bit, because I need to air out, because some pricks just fucking smashed a stink bomb on me. I fucking reek. Like, that would be the first thing. I'd be like, we still do the date, but you just need to keep 10 feet in front of me for a bit, and I'll let you know once the waft's gone a bit. We won't go to Spoons, we'll go for a walk around the park.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be like, I'll keep it a secret, maybe she won't notice. So yeah, those are the stories.
For this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's plenty of stories like that I could tell. I met some proper weirdos online.
I've got hundreds of stories, but I don't want to give them all out on this podcast.
Nah. One a week.
On this one. Well, that was technically 2 that time.
Alright. But nobody else sent us any fucking stories. So
yeah, so get us sending stories. Otherwise you're going to get more of mine. And a lot of them are going to be from that time period of my life.
Yeah, probably.
Because that was a horrendous time period of my life. And the thing is, a lot of that area was only like a 5 to 8 month period. But in that time, a lot happened.
It's usually the way it is, though, isn't it?
Yeah. The Car Clan! Right then, we good?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for listening, guys. And that's been another episode of the Car Clan podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I believe you follow us on Spotify. Is that what you do on that one? There we go, I'm learning.
Possibly the same on all the others, because I'll be honest, I haven't been on and checked.
But if you, just do the relevant things on your relevant listening app.
Yeah.
And join us again. Make sure you message us, because otherwise this is going to be a whole load of gross stories about me.
He's been him.
Has been her. She's been her.
Again.
She's been her.
Oh,
Has been
God.
her. I prefer has been her.
Has been her. Alright. Catch you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Diddly 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 dip. The Car Clan.